Today says to us, remember. And today's gospel says to us, keep awake. Keep awake, for you know neither the day nor the hour. Remember and keep awake. What does it mean to remember? There is the small everyday kind of remembering. There is my mask, for instance, which I have just about learned to remember to take with me when I leave the house. There are all the small things that need to be done today. For the bridesmaids in the gospel story, that would be remembering on the level of how much oil does your lamp take, and what brand is best to use, and how exactly do you fill it. There will be a time when we no longer have to remember all these small things. There is a deeper level of remembering that goes with remembrance. For the bridesmaids in the story, again, that is remembering why they are there, what their purpose is, who and what they are waiting for, why they need the lamps in the first place. If they remember that, surely they would remember the small things too, and be ready. The story is a story about the kingdom of heaven. And in the kingdom, in the stories of the kingdom, the small things always matter. The small things always connect to the important thing. The deeper level is connected to the everyday. We find our way to the important thing by keeping awake in the here and now and doing the small things. In that deeper level of remembering, when the everyday crowd of small things has dispersed and we are able to look back and see what mattered, we find ourselves part of a conversation between past and present. Remembrance is not an annual visit to something that is fixed unchangeably in the past. Remembrance is recognizing how what we remember has shaped us and changed us. What debt we owe to the people of the past. Memory belongs to the present. It moves forward through time with us who remember. It is a frontier in time. It is everything we have brought with us. At this deeper level of remembering, it is about recognizing what mattered. And sometimes we recognize that through the small things. A story about remembrance. A story from the Second World War. From the concentration camp of Theresienstadt. The Jewish women who were prisoners there wrote down recipes. They were starving, and they remembered and shared recipes for the foods they no longer had, that they could no longer cook. It was a celebration in the face of death, not just of life, but of a whole civilization, of what mattered, an act of unbearable courage and poignancy. Their remembering was a defiant refusal to be stripped of all their inheritance and experience, of what they had brought with them and would never return to. And in that it is like grief. When we grieve for the dead, every memory is painful because they are gone. And yet, every memory is a recovery, a gift, a something we have brought with us, a something that has shaped us. When people get the chance to say a last word, to send a last message, a message across that frontier of memory, they hardly ever say, "Remember me." They say, "I love you. Look after everyone." We owe the people of the past a debt we repay. By doing that, by being awake to who we are and where we are now, by loving and looking after the people of the present. We live on the frontier, so we keep awake. We keep our lamps filled. We remember our masks. We do the small things. But it says something more, that message about keeping awake. We know neither the day nor the hour, because every hour, every moment, holds out to us the presence of God. We live on another frontier, on the frontier of the kingdom, the frontier of that life-changing encounter with God, who is not stuck in the past, who is not impossibly distant in the future. God who remembers his mercy, who remembers his steadfast love and faithfulness, is here and now and with us. Keep awake. It is a promise and a hope and a call to wake up.